Many of the protesters, or at least a small, hardened group of them, seem to have stayed on the streets here outside the US Embassy all night. It was only quite late yesterday evening that the Egyptian riot police moved in. They began pushing protesters away from the walls of the US Embassy compound, using their shields, using batons. Then some of those protesters threw stones at the police. In response, the riot police opened fire with tear gas canisters and fired those into the crowd. For several hours, we saw essentially running street battles in this area surrounding the US Embassy here in Cairo. This morning, some of those protesters are still there, a hardened group, as I said. Although there are a lot of riot police on the street, they are perhaps expecting further demonstrations, larger crowds later on today. In the last few hours, the US President Obama called the Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi. And the White House has put out a statement saying that in that conversation, the US President underscored the importance of Egypt following through on its commitment to cooperating with the US in securing American diplomatic facilities and personnel. There's clearly an implied criticism there, I think, that the Egyptian authorities didn't do enough on the first night of these protests 2 days ago, when some of those protesters managed to breach the wall of the US Embassy compound, get inside, tear down the US flag that was flying at half-staff to mark the anniversary of September 11th. They tore it down and then they set it on fire.